You are watching Access LaPorte County Channel 97. Coming up next is the December 16th meeting for the LaPorte County Board of Zoning Appeals. You can find more information for this meeting by visiting www.accesslaportecounty.org.
Okay. Good evening, everybody. I'd like to welcome you to the December 16th meeting of Board of Zoning Appeals. Commissioner Hollifield, would you lead us in the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. May I get a roll call, please?
Melissa Mischke.
Here.
Vern Schaefer.
Here.
Eric Poynton.
Here.
Jeff Baltus.
Here.
Ernie Schmidt.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Okay, thank you. And I will entertain a motion for the approval of the November 18th meeting minutes.
I'll make a motion. We approve the minutes as presented.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, same sign. Okay, so before we get into petitions this evening, I just want to remind everybody that the time for public comment in Board of Zoning Appeals meetings is when you are remonstrating, either for or against a petition. And you'll get 3 minutes, and that's your public comment time. We'll put the time up on the clock, and then 3 minutes, and then you will be asked to wrap up your thought and sit down. So this, and I want to remind everybody to silence your cell phones before we get started. So with that, petition number 2 is still going to be on the table. We're not going to hear it this evening. They've asked to stay on the table until the next meeting in January. So petition number 1, petition for special exception for Milestone Environmental Services, LLC, MIS Kingsbury, LLC, and Kingsbury Investments, LLC, represented by counsel David Ambers of David Ambers and Associates, PC, for a non-hazardous wastewater treatment and injection facility. The property is located at the southwest corner of 5th Line Road and Central Road, LaPorte, Washington Township, zoned M2 on 42.7 acres.
Doug.
Attorney BG.
Notice adequate.
Thank you. Good evening.
Good evening, Madam Chairman, members of the board. I'm here on behalf of Milestone Environmental Services LLC and MIS Kingsbury LLC for the special exception petition before you. I have with me Mike Lamb, Vice President of Milestone Industrial, and Zach Garrett, the Senior Project Developer. I'm going to run over the petition real quick, and then I'm going to turn the presentation over to them because they know their business far better than I do, and they can describe it to you and answer any questions.
And Attorney Ambers, if I might, would you please state your name and address for the record, please?
I'm sorry, David Ambers with an office at 601 State Street here in LaPorte, Indiana. Given the number of petitions on your agenda tonight, I'm not going to read all 8 of the requirements to you and how we feel that we meet those requirements. We'll incorporate our petition into the meeting so that we can help you move things along. I'm now going to turn over, before I turn over, I would note on item 6, page 3, we're requesting, if you approve this petition, a 36-month time period in which to commence construction. This project takes a substantial amount of EPA permitting, and EPA has warned them that this permit could take 24 months, so it makes sense to kind of plan ahead. And with that, I'll now turn over the podium to Mr. Lamb and Mr. Garrett so they can describe the business to you.
Thank you. Good evening, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Hello.
If I would, when you get back to the podium, would you state your name and addresses for the record, please? Sure. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Mike Lamb. Business address is 840 Gessner Road, Houston, Texas.
Zachary Garrett, same address.
So yeah, we're with Milestone Industrial, subsidiary of Milestone Environmental. We are looking to permit and construct a non-hazardous wastewater treatment facility in the Kingsbury Industrial Park. This would be for treating industrial wastewaters, not your typical residential and sewage wastewaters. The process would only receive non-hazardous wastewater via trucks, 15, 20 truckloads a day. The water would be filtered and treated and then processed for injection. We've used, we had a pretty extensive subsurface study completed throughout Indiana to determine where in the state this process will work best. And this is how we've ended up in this area of the state. Milestone operates 14 of these facilities throughout Texas and New Mexico currently. And we're looking to expand into other areas where we see the commercial need for this different treatment technology as more and more contaminants are harder to treat at a typical treatment facility.
So what information did you receive that makes LaPorte perfect for this? For LaPorte County?
With the manufacturing in this area, in the wastewaters that are generated, there's actually, I don't remember the exact number off the top of my head, that there's EPA reports that show where the waste is shipped from, where it's generated, and then where it ships to for disposal. So there's a lot of wastewater that leaves LaPorte County that goes into Portage or all the way into Chicago or down closer to Indianapolis, where we could put a localized treatment facility here that would then save your companies, your manufacturers here in town, save on transportation costs to have a local disposal option.
So we're not talking about sewage per se.
Correct.
Because
Not
we're on
sewage.
wells and
Definitely not
septic
sewage.
in the county. So we're talking about gray water.
So this would be wastewaters from like manufacturing processes.
Page 5 is an example of some of the types of waste streams that we would be targeting.
All non-hazardous waters, but like line flushes, oily waters. There's the digester that's going in that same park there. That digesting process generates a wastewater that'll need to be shipped off-site that they can't handle on their own. Landfill leachates, but no sewage, no septic, no dirty water like that. And then, like I said, no hazardous wastewaters.
And your landfill leachate is going to come from our local area? How far out are we talking about?
I mean, the point of putting it here is to serve the local facilities, within LaPorte County and neighboring counties. But the permitting process would allow us to take wastewater from anywhere.
So you could be looking at people transporting their wastes to you here in LaPorte County.
Right, but so wastewater shipped by truck typically only travels an hour or two. It doesn't travel real far, so you're still talking here in the Indiana area, northern Indiana. Yeah.
Okay.
I have a question. How do they collect this? And this can't go into municipal waste systems, correct?
Great question, yes.
So they collect this and send it to this system, to this treatment plant?
Correct, yeah. So most POTWs, municipal sewage districts, are set up to treat residential wastewater in your rainwaters, which are fairly clean. You're typically filtering out solids and maybe trace amounts of metals and organics. The wastewaters that we're targeting are more heavily contaminated, like I said, typically from manufacturing processes. Some cities have POTWs that can treat those type of wastes, but for the most part, most cities rely on a facility like ours to pre-treat and manage that material your facilities would run more efficiently just managing the wastewater it's set up for.
So the contaminants that you treat and come out of this, what happens to those?
So solids that are filtered out would then be landfilled, but the rest of the waste is bound up and then part of the injectate.
So you're just injecting, what you're injecting is the water that's
Heavy
left from
metals, sludge. Is it sludge as your end product?
Yeah, it'd be like a
dried
sludge,
sludge, maybe.
Yeah.
So heavy metals. And you feel that we don't have the capability in the county to handle any of this waste currently?
You may be able to take some of it, but in large volumes, I would expect not, no.
Okay.
Most cities do not have that robust of a treatment system for industrial wastewaters.
Okay. Let's see if we have any remonstrators tonight before we continue. Anybody here for petition number 1, either for or against it? If you guys would like to have a seat, we'll hear from our remonstrators. Good evening.
Good evening. LaPorte County Commissioners Steve Hollifield, 6782 East Hunter South. The gentlemen were in my office earlier this year, and the first proposal we were given, they were going to be on First Line. And I see now it's gone down there to 5 Line in Central Road, across from where the new Nexus plant's going in. Some questions that I have about this, and they might have already been answered. Why won't the other utilities, municipalities, take this wastewater and treat it themselves if it's not contaminated or anything else? And out there in KOP, there's going to be an issue with the roads for them to get a permit to have access in and out, because the roads are owned privately right now currently.
Right.
And the water table, during the landfill talks in the early 90s, maybe 95, 96, there was talk of a landfill going out there when they shut the landfill down the south side of Michigan City. The main concern back then was the water table is only about 30 to 35 feet deep. The people in KOP draw their water for drinking in this facility from that water table. And I have a great concern about putting wastewater, as they're calling it, into the ground near our water table. Not to mention the fact that the issue out there also is they do not have a very sustainable water plant to start with. So if they have to start adding filtration more to that, it's going to be an increase in their water supplies and everything else. The last thing that I would have is they seem to be they're non-contaminated. Well, if they're not contaminated, why do they have to filter before they pump it back in the ground? Thank you.
Thank you. Ma'am, if you'd like to come forward. Good evening. If you would state your name and address for the record.
My name is Carolyn Toll. I live at 410 East, 650 South. I'm actually a resident who lives on the circle in the KOP. I have some great concerns about this, some of which Commissioner Hollifield did bring up. We do have a problem with our water system out there as it is. The previous owner, Mr. Cotton, so let me just give you a little, let me explain something first. I'm dealing with a traumatic brain injury, so sometimes my speech and stuff will...
Take your time.
So there's 2, I just need to get to my notes because it's another thing I need to be able to, I'm so sorry.
Oh, you're fine.
So we have 2 well houses out on Central. My understanding, this is proposed for 5th Line in Central. Those 2 water houses on Central are on line 3 and on line 5. This is where our water is drawn from. There's 3 towers out there. One's on 1st Line, one's on 3rd, and one's on 5th. Those towers store our water. The previous owner would alternate which towers were being used at the time, and then that year, the one that wasn't being used would be serviced, and the following year, it would just follow along like that. With the new owner for the past maybe 10 years, that has Kingsbury Utility Corporation, when he went before the state to get an increase on our rates, did so saying that he needed to change out all the pipes in our mains on the circle. Well, we went from $35 a month to $100 for 5,000 gallons. Nothing's been touched since that went through 8 years ago. I have videos where my water sometimes is anywhere from dark brown to blood red. They're constantly having to come out and repair one of the mains that continually bursts instead of properly taking care of it. I have no faith that what they're going to be bringing in is going to be able to be handled by the system that we have out there currently. I have some concerns too of if other communities don't want it in, what's being transported out of theirs, why should it be brought into ours? We have to drink that water. I have never drank the water at my home. I don't let my dog drink it. We have water that we have delivered. I have a full filtration system on my house. Even my toilet water is filtered, but I would never drink it, but we still have to bathe in it. We still have to wash our clothes and our dishes. So I am completely against this. The towers that I'm speaking of, the pipes are so old. One of them is right next to where they're talking about putting this in. Who's going to be responsible for any seepage? Because as Mr. Haney, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry, as Commissioner Hollifield had stated, that area back there is on the Kankakee River aquifer. It has a very shallow clay base to filter the water. This is just going to be more than it can handle out there.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you so much. Are there any other remonstrators tonight for this petition? Anyone else? Okay, hearing and seeing none, if you guys would like to come back up.
Sure.
Maybe you guys could address some of the concerns about drinking water quality. I believe that Carolyn is probably referring to lead water line replacement as part of that, but I want you to focus on the wastewater aspect and what is going back into our groundwater.
Sure. So as Dave mentioned before, we have to get an EPA, a UIC, which stands for Underground Injection Control EPA permit for this, and it's about a 24-month process from submittal of the application to approval. And I mean, it's a very stringent, robust process on their end to make sure that we're locating this facility, this well, in the right location, that it has the right lithological components for it, geological layers to support a well like this. Class 1 injection has been around since the 50s, and there's never been one instance of any kind of fluid migration outside of the confining unit, any kind of well leakage outside of the casing or the tubing. So if you, and I can show you kind of some examples. If you look on, let's see, page 10.
Do you have any extras of these you could give one to
Sure, yeah.
to the two remonstrators? I'd be happy to provide mine. So what page are we going to? I apologize.
Page 10. So this well is going to be constructed with, half-inch to 1-inch thick steel casing, which then has cement all the way from the bottom to the top, and then another layer of steel casing, and then inside that casing, and I'm trying to keep this as high level as possible, but it's a very robust technology, and it's, like I said, it's been around since the 50s. There's never been one instance of one of these things leaking anywhere. That's a fact. But there's going to be consistent 24/7 monitoring of the well. Basically, you'll have a tubing inside the cemented casings, and if that tubing has any kind of pressure loss or any kind of just pressure differential between, it'll alert us. And that actually means it's still all contained within the casing. There's no way for that fluid to leak out anywhere. That just means that the pipeline that actually contains the waste has a leak or something, but it's still all being contained. Like you have multiple fail-safes in place to ensure that this stuff doesn't leak. It never has, and there's hundreds of these in the country. And we had a consultant that did a very robust study for us on where the best locations are to geologically to put one of these in this region. And this was a very good candidate because if you look at page 9, you have a 500-foot thick confining layer above the Mount Simon Formation, which is where we're going to be most likely injecting the fluid into. And that, think of that layer like a impenetrable rock. It's impermeable. Anything that gets injected below it has no possibility of going back up. Right now in the Mount Simon Formation, which is about 3,000 feet below us, there's already an extremely salty brine water, like 30,000 milligrams per liter, not drinkable by any means. There's no way to treat that and reuse it for drinking water or any kind of agricultural use. So what we would be injecting is already a lot less nasty than what's already down there. And that fluid right now isn't migrating past where it is right now either. So, I mean, it's also kind of like what we inject into there is just going to commingle with this heavy brine fluid. It's going to get absorbed, and actually, we're going to be doing such, I don't want to say maybe lower volume than y'all are thinking. Like, this fluid actually is not going to be as laterally expansive maybe as you're thinking. It's not really ever going to leave the property boundary over like its 20 to 30 year span. And if it did, that doesn't matter. It's 3,000 feet below you. It's nowhere near the water table. It's impossible for it to migrate upwards towards the water table. The EPA is going to flush all this out when they review this permit application.
So this is the first step.
Yes, this is the first step.
Basically.
Yeah.
So if we grant the variance, then you'll go on to more rigorous
Yeah.
applications. If we don't, it's dead in the water. Is that?
Yes.
I guess it seems like an oxymoron, because what we're saying here is that we're trying to grant a petition here for non-hazardous wastewater. But if it's non-hazardous, why do we have to inject it like 3,000 feet into the ground? What is it about it that we don't want it?
Yeah, my experience with leachate is not that it's not hazardous.
But you also wouldn't want leachate probably going to your POTW. I mean, it still does.
LaPorte wastewater plant takes leachate.
And I mean, those POTWs typically are not equipped with the right treatment technologies to really handle leachate and other kinds of. I think leachate's a great example for probably the nastiest type of waste stream we would take in there.
Does not smell good.
No. I've been around. I worked for Republic Services for years, and I was around leachate a lot, and it's pretty nasty. But I mean, the EPA would much rather have leachate go to a facility like this than your POTW, where it just gets lightly diluted and then released back into the biosphere, released to a bayou, a creek, a river. I mean, that's the process, really, is it just gets diluted. Some do have some treatment technologies, but most that can address some of the heavy pollutants constituents in leachate, which is non-hazardous. They're not EPA defined as hazardous constituents, but still, I think it's page, I got a reference in here. Oh, number 8. We're just kind of working backwards, one page at a time.
Going backwards.
This was a interim guidance released by the EPA in April of last year, and they kind of just April again of this year of 2025 reiterated this memo, which is that for PFAS removal, which is a forever chemical that can be found in leachate, not always. Kind of just depends on what landfill it's coming from and what was put in that landfill. But they continue to back non-hazardous Class 1 injection as the preferred method to permanently and most effectively remove PFAS from the environment.
And so as far as non-haz, there's definitely non-haz wastewaters that should be treated and reused and go back in your water cycle. But there's also non-haz wastewaters that you would not knowingly want to be drinking, like if it was a pesticide rinse water, pharmaceutical rinse waters, leachate waters. So our process, our facility, we're going to target more of those hard to manage waste streams. The cleaner wastewaters we would rather see go to a POTW, and that's going to be much more cost effective for the generator of that waste stream. One other thing to clarify too is we're not injecting into the water table. We're going
below
thousands and thousands of feet below that. So this will have no effect on your current water issue out there. And that's demonstrated in the diagrams there.
And so what facilitated the move, if there was one, from first line to fifth line?
The guidance we received in that meeting to be further east of where we were initially looking at.
Okay.
And the property on first line was just the first property it was the property that was publicly listed for sale. And then once we were working with a realtor for that, we were made aware of other properties in the industrial park, and that's how we ended up over on the other side. This property also requires way less development. The previous property was that motocross track. And that was way bigger than we need. We don't need, what was that, 80, 90 acres? We don't need that big.
It would have been quite the civil undertaking to redo that property.
Okay, let's see what kind of questions the board has.
How much water will you guys use? Like, is this just a big hole and you dump this stuff down it, or do you flush it down there, or how does that?
Great question.
Real quick, how does that process work?
As far as water use that we'll need as a supply-wise, minimal. Bathrooms, drinking water, garden hose for rinsing stuff down, that's it. Washing equipment, that's it.
So this stuff just like free flows down? You're not going to use a bunch of electric and pump it down or flush it down, or?
We use a pump to pump the water down the well, yes.
Okay.
But we, as far as your question about the water supply, we don't need a lot of water. And even for pumping it, it's pretty.
What kind of pressure is it at when it's getting pumped down?
Pretty low. We don't know yet exactly. That's something that'll be determined by the EPA, whatever pressure and flow rate they assign us in the permitting process. But I could tell you it'll be way less than 1,000, probably less than 500. So not a lot of pressure at the surface. Just, your normal centrifugal pump pressure output, pretty much.
But you've already made those determinations that down there in that deep zone, that's very permeable down there, and it would go into that area then.
Correct.
Easily.
Correct.
Yes, and like I pointed out earlier, what makes this formation so unique, the Mount Simon that we touch on page 9, is that actually it has a really thick confining layer above it, the Eau Claire formation. It's like a 500-foot thick bedrock that nothing can pass through. So this stuff will get injected down there, never to make it.
How far can it move laterally, though?
Not as far as you might think either, because the Mount Simon formation is also about 700 feet thick right there. It's going to more make an egg shape around the bottom of the below the packer of the injection tubing, and it's not. We actually have to do a calculation in the EPA permit application where we have to be able to demonstrate what the total plume coverage is, which is how far is the waste expanding 3,000 feet below the surface. And some initial preliminary calculations we did, it really should never leave the property over a 20-year span. And if it starts to leave the property boundaries over a 20, 30-year span, it's not going to branch out much further than that. And there's nothing.
Does this have a limit? at a certain amount of time, after a certain amount of time, does the formation get filled?
No, this formation actually extends all the way from Kentucky to Michigan to Illinois to Nebraska, all of Indiana. So no, it's.
You say it doesn't move laterally. So if it doesn't,
no, it's something about the formation.
The reservoir that it's going into exists in 5 states.
I'm just, I'm not a chemist, so the EPA is going to handle this stuff, but we have to.
So you have an annual EPA, or how does that get?
Yeah,
to ease the mind of the people, how does the EPA monitor you on a basis?
Yeah, great question.
Their basis.
So like Zach said earlier, the facility itself, the well itself, along with other equipment in the facility will be monitored 24/7. Then the EPA does require annual MIT testing, mechanical integrity testing, which is a battery of tests that is required for you to continue operating.
And they go through all those reports of whatever readings.
Correct.
Yep.
Yeah.
Make sure you've been inspected or whatever through the whole year and all these.
Yeah, a representative actually from the EPA would come out to the site to witness all of the tests being run.
Just once a year.
Right.
Well, but we're going to be constantly. We'll have several transmitters, probes located throughout the service facility that we're going to be able to have 24/7 visibility to, and there's going to be continuous monitoring for all aspects of the process. And like I said, most importantly is that there's what's called an annulus monitoring system on this well, and it'll let you know if there's any kind of pressure disparity that's going on within the tubing, which is located inside all these casings. And that will let you know if there's some kind of issue, but it's still all contained. It's still completely impossible for the fluid to migrate out. Sorry.
Back up.
Yeah, I just use my hands a lot. It's impossible. Like I said, it's never happened before. This technology's been around since the 50s. There's never been an instance where, your injected fluid is somehow leaking outside your multiple strings of casing or migrating past your confining unit. It's never happened. I mean, the EPA has to, they're not going to give you this permit unless they're 100% positive that is not a possibility.
I understand getting the permit. So in agriculture per se, like there's meters and there's checks and balances and a milk inspector comes monthly and checks all that meter and made sure that you were in spec all month, but if they just give you a permit one time and you can do whatever the heck you want, that's what I don't want to see.
No. So besides the annual MIT testing, the permit is for a 10-year cycle, and then we have to basically reapply to renew it every 10 years.
Okay.
It's not as intense because now you're just updating the data, but that initial permit application is roughly 200 pages for us to draft that, and then that's why it takes the EPA years to review and test all of our theories and calculations and everything that's put into this application. So we would apply, and then after they've reviewed everything, the EPA would provide feedback and ask additional questions, and then we would respond again. If you've gone through permitting, you've probably did something similar.
So the well itself would be in like the center of the property, so that way when it does do whatever, it doesn't.
We could put it anywhere in the property, but once it's there, you can't move it though.
Obviously.
I think they're going to need graphs and charts.
Well, right. I mean, the EPA will probably tell you where to put it.
Well, yeah, and that's part of it too, during the survey of where to put it. One other thing to point out, I know it's in the slides too, but just for everyone here listening, the whole receiving and processing is all indoors. There's no odor, there's no noise. That's a question we get all the time about the injection pump. It's no louder than any other pump you've used.
How many employees do you have there? Or is it monitored with SCADA remotely?
No, well, I mean, it'll be monitored remotely.
Yes,
but we'll have employees there. When we're ramped up, figure 15 to 20 employees directly there. And then plus trucking jobs, sales jobs, other related.
And
I have one more question.
Sure.
So the material that we're injecting down, what's the monitoring system on what is actually going down there, and what are the specs of what can go down there, and if it's not hazardous, but
Yeah, Greg, I know where you're going. So, and it's a great question. So before waste can even come to the facility, we have to have a sample and what's called a waste profile that lists what the customer believes is in the waste and the sample. And then we run analytical on that, and then that has to meet our permitted approved parameters.
per load?
This is before the waste is even shipped.
Yeah.
Then your load shows up at our facility, same thing happens again. We take a sample, we run it in our lab, we'll have a lab on site, we'll check all those same parameters. And yes, say you were shipping us 3 loads in a row, every single load it has to be checked. That'll be part of the permit requirements. And if a load were to arrive at our facility and we check it and it does not meet the permitted parameters, then we would reject the waste back to the customer before we unload. All this is checked, opening the top of the tanker truck and checked on the tanker before we unload it, because we don't want to have waste in our tanks that we can't process.
Obviously, you have to bring in certain chemicals to do this treatment of this product, and then of course that comes in and it gets treated, and then whatever comes out of it, it gets shipped back out. Is that a liquid or a solid that leaves?
What would leave would be the solids.
Okay, the solids get refined out and the liquid gets injected.
Correct. Yep. Yeah. Similar to your POTW. So your POTW generates solids that eventually, I'm assuming, are getting land farmed or going back to a landfill. Every treatment process is going to generate solids.
Okay.
What else? Any other
do we have any
we need to hit?
Any additional questions?
I mean, are there any other questions on the technology itself? I mean, this is a technology that we truly believe in. I mean,
I actually I'm inclined to table this so that I can do a little bit more research into the technology, but it's going to be a decision of us as a group. So
There are, so I mean, we're looking to do a commercial facility so we can take waste from a variety of customers in the area. There are facilities in this area, just 15, 20 miles straight west of here, that have this exact wells at their facility right now for their own waste only. And there's a lot, as Zach mentioned earlier, there's just under 1,000 Class 1 wells in the U.S., and there is a good chunk of those here in the Midwest. So it's not a new technology, it's just...
Okay, if the board doesn't have any further questions, I'm going to entertain a motion.
The inclination is to table this so we can do a little bit more research on this because it all kind of got sprung on us at one time here. I don't know if that's, I don't know what I can do to change the, I'm worried a little bit about how the neighbors in the ordnance plant feel about this because of the transportation and the infrastructure there that's obviously privately owned.
Right.
The roads and stuff. This gets to be kind of a slippery slope. I think that is a possibility that we maybe need to do a little bit more research on this. So I'm going to move that we table this at least and give us some time to mull this over and talk about it, and then come back again in a month and maybe we'll make a more. If we have any more questions that pop up, we'll ask the building commissioner
To reach out, sure.
and then we'll revisit this again. So the motion's on the table or motion is to table it for till the next meeting.
Second.
Okay, so I have a motion and a second to table. Do we have a time frame, or do you want to say 30 days?
Yeah.
I feel like 30 days would
enough.
work. Okay, so all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Okay, we'll see you guys in a month. Thank
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Yeah, unfortunately, when they drop a bunch of information on us at the meeting, it's hard to get through all of it. And okay, so petition number 2 is still on the table, and we're going to move on to petition number 3, petition for variance of developmental standards for Michael A. and Jill E. Merrimont Trust for construction of a second accessory pool house with living quarters. Property is located at 202 Hoosier Drive, Michigan City, Springfield Township, zoned R1B.
Notice adequate.
Thank you. Good evening.
Good evening.
If
Thank
you-
you, everybody.
If you would, please state your name and address for the record.
My name is Link Talon from Link Talon Design. I'm a residential builder, and I'm located in Chicago, 2845 North Sacramento.
Okay.
On behalf of Jill and Michael Merrimont that are also here, looking to build a pool with residential space for living quarters. The clients had purchased the property behind them a couple years ago, intent of building a pool house. The reason why we combined the two properties together is so that we could have the pool house closer to the house.
How large is the pool house?
It's about 850 square feet is the footprint, so it's about 8.5% of the lot. The lot's 105 by 96, roughly a little over 10,000 square feet.
Okay. Are there any remonstrators tonight for this petition, either for or against? Anybody for or against petition number 3? Okay, hearing and seeing no remonstrators, what kind of questions do we have from the board?
So the question always is, you want to have a living quarters, so what?
Yeah, so we have a
purpose for that?
kitchen. So if a kitchen is considered living quarters, and then we have a bedroom. Their parents come out here for the summer, so for the course of the summer, they can stay there.
So it wouldn't be for
Well,
a
that
rental or an Airbnb
No.
or anything?
Yeah, that
No.
sounds a little bit more like a rental or something than a pool house.
Yeah, but no, we're not. The intent was not to rent it. If they wanted to rent it, then we would just separate the two properties together. And the lot's much bigger than what we would be building, and they would be able to just build as a regular house. It's just the fact that we'd like to have the pool house close to the main residence. And you have a 25-foot setback if you build it regularly, so this way we get to have the pool house, it's like about 10 feet away from the house.
How close is it to the pool?
Well, we have it perpendicular with the property lengthways, and then the actual pool itself runs parallel with the house, the actual house, so.
And it's not for mechanicals from the pool, it's
No, it's
specifically
just,
a kitchen,
correct. And we just don't want to have, again, it's the reason we combine the lots is so we can have the pool house closer. People don't want to walk 50 feet to the pool house.
And I don't imagine that they want people living right behind their house as a Airbnb or something. These people,
Correct.
they live in the house.
Yeah, they live in a house. Like I said, their parents are
That's always the
from
biggest
North
concern.
Carolina, right? North Carolina? South Carolina. So
Gotcha.
It's very warm there in the summer.
You don't want to be here now? Question, are you septic or sewer?
It's going to be a septic field. So
You have to put in another septic field for this?
correct. Yep. So we already had the soil test done and working with.
I didn't know if you were going to tie on to an existing field.
No, it's not. The existing field's too small.
No problem.
Okay, if there are no further questions, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion that we approve this.
I'll second it.
Okay, I have a motion and a second to approve. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Aye. Good luck.
Thank you.
Okay, where did I put my? Petition number 4 this evening is a petition for variance of developmental standards for David F. and Sally C. Swan for construction of a third accessory structure placed to the side of the home instead of the rear with a 3-foot setback from the garage instead of the 10-foot minimum. Property is located at 2963 South County Line Road, Westville, New Durham Township, zoned R1A on 2.02 acres.
This is adequate.
Thank you. Good evening.
Good evening.
If you would, please state your name and address for the record.
David and Sally Swan, 2963 South County Line Road, Westville, Indiana.
All right. And what is it that is bringing you to us for an additional structure?
I moved to this property 3 years ago with just a pole barn that was already on a property, no home.
Okay.
We put up a home on the property. I'm just looking for more room. I'm retired now. I'd like to restore a old classic car, and I just don't have the room, so I'd like to put up another steel building, or a steel building, next to my garage there to have easy access to the tools and stuff and everything I need in the garage to work on the car.
David, is there a structure there currently next to the garage?
No, there's
It's been removed.
just some concrete, and I wanted to put it there. And I would have moved it to the back, but I didn't want to.
Run over septic.
My septic's in the back, and plus I didn't want to look out my back window and look at a
The dogs are.
large building
Have a
back there.
fenced area back there too for the dogs, so we can't really do a lot with.
Have you talked with that neighbor then that's going to look out and
We've asked all
look
the
at their?
neighbors, and I've had the papers signed, and I've turned those back in.
So you don't want to look at your big building, but your neighbors can? They're good with that?
Yeah, and none of my neighbors had an issue. I've talked with every one of them that was on the list.
Okay. Do we have any remonstrators tonight for this petition? Anybody for or against? Petition number 4. Any remonstrators? Seeing and hearing none, kind of questions from the board?
I jotted a couple of things down on the map here. One is, how far are you from the property line with this building?
It's going to be on the north side of my property line, but I'm still like 20 feet from my north
From your
neighbor.
You're trying to just utilize this existing.
Yeah, that
concrete.
area right there to put up a steel building.
And you mentioned that the building is 24 by 31. What kind of roof height are we talking?
11-foot
11
sidewall.
feet. The building that's there now, the pole barn that's there is 10. And I'm trying to match it the colors and everything as close as I can to the house to make it not stand out.
Okay.
What about you guys?
Good.
I'm good.
Okay, if there's no further questions, I'll entertain a motion.
Make a motion, we approve this.
Second.
I have a motion and a couple of seconds. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, same sign. Good luck.
Enjoy your retirement.
Thank you.
All right. Petition number 5 this evening is a petition for variance of developmental standards for Tracy A. Friend for construction of a second home. The property is located at 10852 West, 2100 South, La Crosse, Dewey Township, zoned ag on 5.31 acres.
Notice adequate.
Thank you. Ladies, if you would state your name and address for the record.
I'm Tracy Friend, 10852 West, 2100 South in La Crosse.
Okay.
I'm Jerry Friend at 4017 Oak Avenue in Brookfield, Illinois.
Okay. So tell me what is unique to the property that we need to construct a second home?
When I bought the property in 1999, it had a huge barn. In fact, that's one of the reasons I bought it. And probably about 12, 13 years ago, a huge gust of wind came through and knocked the barn down. So it's just a vacant piece of property. And my sister recently just lost her husband, so she thought, you know what, I kind of want to move out of Illinois. I'm tired of the taxes. I'm tired of the high prices. She said, I want to move back to Indiana because that's where we were raised. And I said, you know what, why don't you put a secondary home on the back of my property? And so we went and looked at it, and she found a 1,200 square feet home with an attached garage. That would fit perfect.
A modular home?
It's a modular home.
Where exactly is it? Do you have a plan for it to go?
Do you have a map? Did they give you a map? Okay.
That's it?
Yeah.
Is there a drawing?
I have this.
This here?
Uh-huh.
So
But-
was that
but
building
that-
gone?
That's the better one that she has. That's the one I drew. It's going to be where the barn used to be. It's going to be on the back west corner
Yeah, this is
of my
our house.
property.
This is a garage, an old milk house. This is
All right, if
another.
you'll give us just a moment to get all
structure
situated.
over here. And this is like a little cul-de-sac. You want to put it between the milk house.
So you currently live in the house?
Yes.
Your sister
I have a house and a garage.
modular back there, so she can have a place to live. So you guys can be nice and close to each other, so you
Yeah.
Well, I won't be able to see her house, thankfully, from my house, but
But it's, the idea here is that, obviously, this is a second dwelling on a property, and that's why you're here for
exactly.
this. And I personally don't have any problems with this, but you have to know that in the future, obviously, you're going to have two homes here. You can't have it. We don't really want you to be a rental property, obviously.
No, it's not going to be rental.
And,
Either home. So if one of you passes before the other.
Well, I have to create I just had a will drawn up, a new one. Well, now I found out I've got to do a trust that will, if something happens to me, everything will be left to her. And then when something happens to her, where I wanted my property to go to 3 charities, that will happen when she passes. So like I said, I have to draw it.
Let's see if we have any remonstrators tonight, either for or against this petition. Any remonstrators? Okay, seeing and hearing no further remonstrators, I will entertain a motion.
Didn't get that. Could you try again?
Whoa.
Siri, I'm telling you, she is nosy.
She wants to hear it again.
She still didn't get it.
Are you done?
Yes.
I move that we should grant this petition.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, same sign.
Question. Do I get a separate address for
You're going to work with the building commissioner's office with that? They're going to issue addresses.
I go afterwards to speak with her?
You can
Right
call
now?
okay, there you go. I was going to say during the week, but, all right. Thank you, guys. Petition number 6 this evening is a petition for variance of developmental standards for Chase L. and Ashley R. Rinker to live in a camper trailer while the primary home is being built. Home construction already began back in March. This is a property this property is located at 15426 South, 100 West Hamlet, Hannah Township, zoned ag on 1.63 acres.
Notice adequate.
Thank you. Good evening.
Good evening.
Would you state your name and address? for the
Chase
record?
Rinker, 15426 South, 100 West Hamlet.
Chase, you already have a camper there.
Yes.
How long do you think construction's going to continue?
A couple months.
Started on it already?
Yeah, we're getting ready to hang drywall.
Okay.
Then why is he even here?
This is the forgiveness, not permission.
Right.
I knew nothing about it.
That better be one hell of a camper. It is so cold right now.
Yeah, it stays warm in there. There's a couple electric heaters. It's 68 in there, so yeah.
Sounds like a good time.
It's not. I have 4 kids, so it's not a good time.
So you think you're going to be wrapping it up here
Yeah,
springtime?
As fast as possible.
Early
Right.
spring. Yes.
Get everybody out of that camper.
Well, yeah, if he's got 4 kids and they're living in a camper, I think he's going to move pretty fast to finish this house.
That's fair. Let's see if we have any remonstrators. Are there any remonstrators tonight for petition number 6? I know you guys are all here for petition number 7, but anybody want to be in favor or against petition number 6? Okay, hearing and seeing no remonstrators, if there are no further questions from the board, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion that we approve this.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in
Do we
favor?
want to put any time limit on it?
Ooh,
Yeah.
outstanding.
When are you going to get done with the house?
He said spring.
I'm hoping spring, yeah.
Is this 6 months?
Yeah, that's fair. More than fair. Yep.
Okay.
I think
a 6-month time frame.
And then the camper obviously
It goes.
and
I can't store,
well, you
can't
can
store
still
it on
use
You
property.
can't live in it.
You shouldn't be
You're not
living
going to live in it.
Right.
You probably ain't going to want to go camping after this.
No, I'll
anyway.
probably get rid of it, yeah.
You guys are going to be so tired of living
Okay,
each other.
okay.
We'll go camping.
I have a motion and a second on the floor. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Aye. Good luck.
Thank you.
All right.
Have a fun winter.
Petition everybody's been waiting for tonight is a petition for special exception for Mojo Holdings, Indiana LLC, buyer, and David L. DeMoss Trust, owner, for special land use. We are proposing the development of a gas service station with a convenience store, 24-pump canopy, propane sales, and coffee shop with a drive-through. It's located at 10555 East Highway 12, Michigan City, Springfield Township, Zone B2, on 67.903 acres.
Notice adequate.
Thank you. All right, gentlemen, state your names and addresses for the record.
Yes, hi, it's Curtis Heyman with Milmar Buildings. Address is 324 North Cleveland Avenue in Bradley, Illinois. And
Tyler Cravens, Mitten State Engineering, 422 East Orchard Street, Delton, Michigan.
Out of curiosity, do you have the buyer or the owner here with you this evening?
Yes, I
Okay,
got it in the back.
very good. All right, let's talk about this parcel and what makes it unique enough that you think this 24 canopy gas station. I mean, like, is it going to be a Buc-ee's?
no, yeah, wouldn't that be great?
Okay,
Got some great jerky, right? No, but it will have, food. We'll have obviously 24 pumps and an area that can be used for a coffee place, some kind of a coffee shop type of deal. Just with the location, all the traffic that comes through this area already. It's a great location, especially during the summertime with the increase of traffic coming back and forth between. Allowing more pumps will actually help alleviate some of that backed up traffic coming back and forth through the area. It gives them a place to fill up.
am I wrong? Is it
Bathrooms as well.
proposed to be next door to an existing gas station? Is there one just,
Yeah, there is a
Just
Shell
there?
station down
Yes.
the street,
Yeah.
correct?
and it doesn't look like this is big enough for semi-trucks?
Correct, yeah.
This is
not a
not-
truck.
Just automotive?
That is correct.
Regular?
Yes.
Okay.
No trucking.
I'm sorry I interrupted you. Go ahead.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, there will be diesel pumps, but it is only for like regular passenger trucks. So yeah, no semis at all.
What's hours operation?
That's a good question.
Yeah,
Was it
24.
24?
Yeah.
24.
Are you affiliated with any fuel supplier?
Negative. No.
When does that come? I'm just curious.
He hasn't selected one yet. He's currently interviewing some and determining which one he wants to use. So
I like the drawing. I don't know if there's a lot of concerned citizens, and we got more remonstrance emails than we've ever received
Ever.
about anything. So
I've been on this board a long time, and this was the most remonstrance.
I think the biggest opposition appears to be the fact that they don't want a truck stop.
yeah, there was a lot of.
yeah, and that's understandable. No, not a
But
truck
we've
stop.
determined it's not the facility for a truck stop.
Correct. And it won't be.
Okay.
So this is is it a convenience store also?
Yeah, there will be, it's like, a normal, like a Buc-ee's, if you go in, you can get, food, drinks, whatever, typical larger gas station, if you will.
Okay. I'm going to ask you guys to have
All
a seat.
right.
'Cause I'm certain we have some remonstrators here this evening. So with that, if we do have a large amount of written remonstrance that will be available in the building department if you'd like to see it. It really is the largest amount of remonstrance I've ever received on my time on this board. And, we definitely took the time to read it. So having said that it's not a truck stop, what do we have for remonstrators this evening?
Madam President, if I
Yes.
may. I've been doing this over 15 years, and I've never seen this many remonstrances. But my comment is, if you listen to the previous remonstrance, please don't go up and repeat what the last person said, or we'll be here all night. You make your point. Somebody else has made your point. We can see you're here to support that point. Okay?
We know what has already been sent to you through emails and voice messages.
Well, we
much.
have about 50, don't we?
Everything you could think of got
Yeah,
covered.
you can see them at the building commissioners.
I thought you were going to read them all to us tonight.
Yeah.
I have to eat dinner soon. So who would like to start? Yep, come on, don't be shy.
Or DB.
If you would, state your name and address for the record.
Sure. My name's Mike Lories. My address is 10505 US Highway 12, Michigan City. So I'm a part owner of the craft station, which is one of the gas stations right next door to it. There's actually
There's a Shell and there's another
there's
one.
a Shell and there's a Marathon right there. But I'm opposed to rezoning of this location for numerous reasons. Reason one is when we purchased our location, we searched to see if there's any commercial property that could affect us. It was a failing business when we purchased it. There are two gas stations, obviously within a few hundred yards on the same side of the road. It's not a four-corner intersection that requires multiple C-stores. It is rural land. Reason two is for public safety. We have complained numerous times about fireworks being set off in close proximity from a fireworks store next door to us. I know it's the pot calling the kettle black, but we've literally have complained numerous times. Just this summer, we actually had to put out a fire in a dumpster from a firework being let off by a mortar. This isn't the first time it's happened. It's happened numerous times. Also, 9 months ago, the BZA held a violation hearing for the current fireworks place because of the cannabis sign in the back of a pickup truck for the road. That's was just causing a distraction and a safety concern. That I think there's 17 car accidents there between June and July. I'm not sure how many got reported, but there's a ton for that. There's a hill that goes on top of that. It's also an issue that we have for erosion and just safety of the people. The other thing is page 94 of the 2008 County Commissioner's Plan, create compatible comparison zoning districts. We do not feel that it would fall into that category. And then obviously having three C-stores on the same side of the road is just simply not needed. That's it.
Thank you. I just want to make it clear that we are not rezoning this property. The zoning stays. This is for an exception to that zoning. So it is not going to change from an agricultural.
It's already zoned commercial, isn't it?
It's zone commercial.
I just want to make sure everybody knows it's zone B2. So we're not changing that designation. Okay. All right, who's next? Thank you, sir.
Pleasure. Joe Bernier, 418 Meadow, Michiana Shores. Two concerns. I don't understand why 24 pumps need to go in when we already have 2 gas stations within a half mile of the proposed gas station. The other one is a concern about traffic. This time of year, traffic's not bad on 12. You get to May through October, and it is hell trying to get out from the beach area.
And we all have to go to Redemax.
And, well, got to have priorities, right? There's no stoplights along Old Grand Beach that you can get across, and traffic stops. It's just a big problem. And I don't think it should be approved.
Thank you. Anybody else? I know you want to come up.
I think it's been spoken to, the traffic.
Okay.
The no stoplights. It's railroad tracks, you can't get over.
You think all your concerns are have been addressed so far? Okay. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. My name is Dick McGill. I'm a resident of Michigan City, of Michiana Shores. I live at 3607 Powhatan, and I'm definitely against this monstrosity being built there. As was said, there's 2 gas stations. There's an intersection at 212 and 12 that you make the bend, and all our Chicago people, residents that come up for the weekends that go all along the beach areas, the rentals, it's very, very confusing. It's very confusing for those people. And I think 25 years ago, we lost a police, the town marshal from Michiana Shores was killed in that right by the entrance to Michiana Shores. That was 25 years ago. The traffic, like was said before, is unbelievable. Dwyer Products is right on the corner. There's a veterinary station, or veterinary clinic right there. There's a storage unit, a big storage unit. There's a motel, an upscale motel. Peeps eyeglass place. They have a factory right there on 12. There's the 2 gas stations that was stated. And then, of course, the big one right across the state line is where what we call the strip. It's not the casino strip like Vegas, but it's the
marijuana strip.
the weeds.
Yeah.
And there's at least 10 stores that go across, that go right up 12, right across the state line. I know you have no control over that, but the traffic from Chicago and Indiana is unbelievable in the summertime. On Fridays, on Saturdays, on Sundays, some of the places even have security in the parking lots to make sure everything goes smoothly in the parking lots. This is an accident waiting to happen. And this gas station, and I know some people might have said it was a truck stop, but I know what they're referring to as a gas station. That shouldn't be built. Thank you.
Thank you. If you would like to come forward, you'll be next. All right. Good evening.
Good evening. So my name is Derek Thompson. I live at 11 Grand Beach Road. My property, my home is directly across the street from where this is being proposed, this bill is to take place. 2 things. One, as has already been mentioned, the pot shops are what is driving this insane amount of traffic and unsafe area across 12. It's already like that today. Putting something else in this small space to basically just feed off of the progress that the pot shops have brought, meaning we'll sell munchies because we've got 20 pot shops right down the road. That's the real reason why this is actually being offered. It's not about fuel. The fuel is already there. These stations make their money through sales of drinks, chips, and so forth. That's number 1. Number 2, this property will very much impact the use and pleasure of my property today, because I'm now going to have a gas station directly across the street 24 hours a day with all of the traffic, all of the noise, and all of the lights that it would bring in. And the residents, as you have seen and as you have heard, are not only concerned, we don't think this is just a truck stop, this is 24 pumps. It doesn't matter if they're trucks or if they're cars. Cars are better than semis, but this is still something that area cannot sustain. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, sir, come on up. Everything, okay. Are there anybody else that would like to remonstrate? Very good. Noted.
Not having seen all the letters, Roy Weiss, 106 Grand Beach. I live across from that Shell station, which is a hideous source of light pollution, noise, and in the winter, all of that just echoes and goes all through the woods. There's just no need for this. It doesn't add to it. And when you consider all the efforts and all the planning you guys put into putting in that bike trail that goes through there, this just doesn't fit into the environment. I just don't see where it adds anything to the community.
Thank you. All right, ma'am, if you'd like to come forward. Is there anybody else? Just show of hands. Okay. Hey, would you state your name and address, please?
Beth Joby, 319 LaPorte Drive, Michiana Shores, and everything's already been said. I just wanted to report on a poll that was put on Nextdoor Neighbor for a neighbor of mine. I know it's not official, but it's interesting, the result. Out of 121 respondents, 100 people strongly opposed this. 9 were just against it, 9 were strongly for, and 3 were for, but with changes. So I'm here representing for my neighbor that was unable to attend, but that was a poll that she had put out there. The numbers are interesting.
A quick question on the poll. Was that under all the information that you're given now, or is that people thinking that is a truck stop?
Probably thinking it's a truck stop, but...
Because I would say those numbers would be drastically, possibly skewed if...
There is the issue of light pollution, like people have mentioned.
I agree.
But thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, any additional remonstrators? Last chance. Any remonstrators in favor or against petition number 7? Okay, seeing and hearing no further remonstrance, what kind of questions do we have as a board? I just want to say that I agree. I don't feel like this as much as I want a Buc-ee's. I don't think that this fits that neighborhood at all. I don't think that it brings anything additional to the neighborhood that they don't already have.
I don't know if it's our place to judge economic development. Obviously, what would you rather see there? That's the question I've got. This is zone commercial. And I don't know what, I agree that there's plenty of places to go for gas. But is this really that hideous that it would be an eyesore to the area? So that's what's going through my head right now. It's not a truck stop.
Do we have any questions?
Will you be doing repairs on vehicles there?
No. The main thing too, there's no food in that whole area. There's one gas station, they had chicken tenders that's open 4 or 5 hours a day, 5 days a week. There's no food for anybody there. There's no coffee shops. The town's growing, it's gonna be beautiful. If there's a problem with the lighting, you address the lighting to address the housing problem. In the summertime, I go there, the Shell, there's a 2-hour wait to get gas. There's 2 bathrooms with,
Okay. Let him
there's 2
speak.
bathrooms in the gas station.
If you hold on just
and
a moment. Sir,
okay,
the time for remonstrance is closed.
Can you
So
also
any
state
comments?
your name and address?
Joseph Glusak, 457 Amherst Road, Valparaiso, Indiana.
Thank you.
Yeah, we've already had remonstrance, and that is the public comment time. So unfortunately, we're not going to have any more interaction with the public before we make a decision. Okay, so the 24 pumps, is that you're saying is for a summer need?
Yeah, summer need and not a long line, but most importantly, the food, the coffee shop, there's a huge need for that over there.
So if I could make is going to be similar to, would it be more like Gallup's without the semis? Is that really what we're looking at?
It'll be a higher end gas station. There'll be 8 to 10 restrooms in there right now. And it's a fact. There's 2 bathrooms in the gas station. In the summertime, it's overflowing the bathrooms. You can go in there on a summer day and there's nowhere to go to the bathroom. And
So what are you going to have for food? You're going to have place sit down, waitresses and?
No, you'll have tables that sit down. You'll buy the food. There'll be chicken, pizza, and sandwiches. In a coffee shop, there'll be donuts in the morning. We've been talking to a couple, like either a Dunkin' or a Gloria Jean's, coffee, which fits the footprint of Michigan City. It's growing. It's a beautiful town.
Yeah.
The gas stations are there are outdated. They need to, we're going to put a $5 million investment in the city, create 40 to 50 jobs between the, the food and the gas station. We're willing to do whatever the board wants us to do to make it friendly for the people. Put up a fence, put whatever lighting you want. And it's zoned. So it's zoned, the 70 acres is zoned for commercial. There's going to be commercial there one way or another. But to say there's not a need for it, there is.
I don't know, just on my side, I don't think we need a 24-hour station there, though. Nothing good happens after midnight.
Well, what if we adjust the hours?
That's some word.
We're willing to put the right lighting in, adjust the hours. Maybe it doesn't.
So what I might suggest, because our job as a board is not to help you negotiate,
Okay.
right? We're going to say yes or no.
Okay.
So if you want us to make a vote tonight, we can. If you want to go back and maybe meet with the homeowners in the Michiana Shores area and find out what their concerns are, or maybe contact the building department and get all of those remonstrance letters and what their concerns are specifically, and come back to us, that's certainly an option that you have. We, as a board, are not going to be able to negotiate that for you.
No, well, we understand. We'd like to make get a decision soon because we're going to be closing on the property. The biggest thing we heard, they thought it was a truck stop. There won't be any semis. We can adjust the hours now. We can say it'll be open till midnight. Well,
again, we're not going to make that determination for you and have a back and forth. That's not.
No, I know. I'll just, so our hours are going to be till midnight.
So you can, as I said, we can table you for 30 days. That gives you an opportunity to maybe speak with the community and find out what they really, what kind of input you can get from them and come back to us.
It would also be nice to know what kind of vendors you're talking about,
Right,
as far as
something more
food vendors,
specific.
whether it be like a Subway or something like that, or whether you're just going to do your own thing. But it would be a little bit more specific on that might be helpful.
Well, we have the food that's going to go in there. It'll be like a Chester's chicken. It's all going to be made in-house. It'll be chicken, pizza, and subs. They're not going to be franchises.
Other than a possible coffee franchise.
Possible coffee franchise, correct. You can get coffee and donuts in the morning.
Okay, so do you want us to make a vote right now? We can do that.
Was there any other, as far as the board's concerns or questions?
What do you guys think? Okay, so then we're going to make a vote. I will entertain a motion.
I make a motion to deny the special exemption.
Okay, I have a motion to deny. Do I have a second?
I'll second it. So we
Okay.
can get a vote.
I have a motion and a second to deny. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, same sign.
Aye.
Eric?
Aye.
Yes.
Melissa Mischke?
Nay.
So that's nay.
Oh, yes. Yes for denying.
Okay. Jeff?
Yes.
Eric?
Nay.
Ernie?
No.
That's no. Okay, and then Vern.
No.
The motion fails.
Seconded the motion.
Vern?
I did.
That doesn't matter.
so
The
we
motion
could vote.
fails.
Just so we can vote. I don't.
Okay,
Gotcha.
so the motion failed.
Yeah. So it's been accepted.
Attorney
that
BG, is it because we that doesn't de facto approve it, does
I'm
it?
not sure what the hell just happened here.
We voted no. We had a motion and a second to vote no. Two of us said no.
But there has to be an affirmative motion for it to pass in order to
Right.
be
So
effective.
in that motion, so it's not a de facto approval.
No.
There would be hours of operation, any other constraints in a motion to approve.
If it's needed, we could table, that way we can have some more time.
Or we could have a motion to table.
Let's not do that. Let's finish it tonight.
The only reason why we're pushing for that, we have to close on the property, and then we can work with any hours, any lighting, whatever you want, we're willing
Right,
to
that's
work
not
with
the
it.
way this board works, or
Okay.
your special exception.
If I may, Madam President?
Yes.
You guys got to understand, if they vote against this, you're done, okay? I don't think you're getting the hint that the board president gave you. Have a community meeting and work through some of this resistance, and they'd be maybe more willing to go forward, okay? But if you go for broke now, you're not getting back here for a year.
On a
But if you table it.
quick question, since this is a commercial and it's technically accepted in this area,
Not all of it is accepted in this area.
we don't have to say a sign or any of those things, correct? Like,
tell them
they come back with a business plan of.
It's in B2. The only reason they're here is they need a special exception on a gas station.
Yes.
Correct. Okay.
Gasoline
So we don't have to have like a whole technical business plan. We just need to say like, it'd be from 5 to midnight, basically, is the biggest.
Right now.
6, we want to be open 6 to midnight.
Okay.
You realize
We're
you're next
supposed, yeah, I need you to not speak while we're.
Sorry,
Thank
sorry.
you.
Okay, I'm going to make a motion that we allow this petition with the hours of 6 to midnight,
6 a.m. to midnight?
and that this would go on as construction would go on as planned here for this 24 pump station and convenience store / restaurant.
I'll second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. All those in favor, say aye.
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 All those opposed, same sign.
Aye.
Okay, that motion failed.
Okay.
Right. Do you want to do a roll call on it, just to, please? I would like you to do a roll call, please.
What was it?
Nay.
Jeff?
Nay.
Ernie?
No.
Okay, so right there, your motion failed.
Okay.
Thank you, guys. Have a
Thank
good
you.
evening. Okay. Is there any further business in front of the Board of Zoning Appeals this evening?
No, ma'am, but I would like to mention that I've seen a lot of crowds in here, and you folks were polite. Thank you very much.
Yeah, they were. Okay, if there's no further business in front of the board,
This falls under the order of business, but I'm probably going to tell you that I've enjoyed working with this board, but I think that as of this month, I'm going to resign my position and pass on to someone else. I know we've got this wastewater thing sitting in front of us that we tabled, but I think this is going to be it for me, and I'm going to ask the commissioners.
We still have a meeting. Can we quiet down, please?
we still have business in front of the board, so if you would move to the hallway, I would appreciate it, and maybe pull the door if you're going to stand there and visit.
Like I said, I've enjoyed working with this group. It's been good, and I put 3 years in on it, and I think that it's time for me to step out, and hopefully that you'll get a replacement that's better than me.
Vern,
And
you can't-
I'm sure Doug will miss me a lot because I give too much advice.
Now, besides your copious advice, I've enjoyed working with you, really.
You can't tough it out the one more year for your,
No, I don't think I'm going to tough it out one more year. I think this is going to be it.
okay. Well, I
So
think-
you'll have to stay with us, Melissa.
Hey, Vern. You were good till Poynton got on the board. Now all of a sudden you wanted to run away.
Now I move to we adjourn.
I have a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay, good evening, everybody. Thank you.